Welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. We have a mystery to solve. We have some interrogating to do. Left this open to you all. 40 votes, and it was impressively close. Let's see, our top three were we have Tiger won the poll barely. Came from behind to win with 28% of the votes. And afterwards, Snake and Bunny tied with 25%. Dog with 20%, and Sheep with a measly 3%. So, let's interrogate Tiger. Probably try and talk to Tiger. She might have something useful to say. Might being the word to focus on. But sure, I don't got a better idea, so why not? We're in agreement then. Target in mind, we left to talk to Tiger. After a bit, we ran into her on the second floor. She was searching a classroom all by herself. Mouse, Dragon, great to see you two. How's the trinket search going? It could be going better. I'm sure it will be. By the way, not that I mind the visit, but is there a reason why the two of you are here? Hold on a second. Tiger, where's Snake and Rooster? Those two? They're searching the classroom next door. You're not all staying as a group? We're mostly staying as a group. Everyone needs a bit of space, you know? I don't think we need 3 people to all be searched in the same room. But there's a reason that... You know what? Never mind. Getting back what I came here to say. I have to ask you something, Tiger. There is, do you know anything about Kavka's toxin? Kavka's toxin? Tiger's face was blank with confusion. A single phrase, and I could tell she didn't know what we were talking about. Say, Kavka's toxin is an actual real thought experiment. Come to think of it, figures. There was a good comment on the last video in this series, which really goes into it in more detail, but it's an interesting topic. Believed if that was a dead end, and there were actually 2 avenues to try and explore. You know what? Bad question. Forget I asked about it. Okie dokie, forgotten. What I really wanted to ask you is if you know anything about corruption. Corruption? I have reason to believe there was some foul play involved somewhere in the case with Brian's dad. Do you know anything about that? Foul play? No, I don't know much about that. Are you talking about in the events before Brian's dad became a murderer? Or about how the trial was handled? Either? Both? We're not really sure. That's pretty vague, Mouse. Yeah. I know, I'm sorry. I was pretty uninvolved in all that stuff. If I had to say anything, I guess I'd tell you to look at the chief prosecutor. Oh? I actually had a bit of legal trouble in the past. Went with the chief prosecutor, and let me tell you, that lady was ferocious. Oh? The chief prosecutor pretty much has complete authority over all criminal matters on the prosecution side. I would think if there was foul play, it would have something to do with that. Oh, but you're a law student, aren't you, Mouse? So I guess this is pretty much all old news to you. It's still nice to hear. You were in trouble with the law? Seriously? I know. Crazy story. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Good thing one of my friends was good friends with the chief of police. That really smoothed things out. The chief of police? What does that have to do with anything? You don't know? Chief prosecutor and the chief of police are incredibly close. It's beyond a working relationship. I think they're close friends or something. Anything the chief of police wants, the chief prosecutor can handle, and vice versa. That sounds like corruption. Of course it's corruption. Fucking pigs. I think it's nice to be loyal to your friends. Yeah, that's to a point. That's definitely one of the first things that any company trying to cover their ass against corruption will try and drill into you. You don't do that kind of thing. You don't give no gifts, no favors, none of that shit. Now be a good corporate stooge. Anyway, I know this was all probably useless, but that's the best I can say. I actually think that was pretty helpful, Tiger. I'm still not sure who the focus of this route is going to be between dog and ox. I mean, there's some obvious they're the obvious choices, but as far as who is the specific character of the route, I'm not sure. Thanks for talking. No problem. Mind me asking, why are you trying to figure this out? Let's just say there's a pretty immediate need to sort this stuff out. Till we can clear some stuff up, our minor trinket hunt has got to be put on ice. On ice? There's ice involved? It's an expression, moron. Oh, right. God, you are all muscles for brains, huh? Whatever. Come on, Mouse, we're done here. Thanks for the info, Tiger. Good luck on your search for minor trinkets. Good luck with searching for whatever you're searching for. And like that, Dragon and I returned to the classroom we came from to debrief. What a waste of time. I don't think so. What, did Tiger's talk about the chief prosecutor really open your eyes? Might have. At any rate, I didn't know about the connection between her and the chief of police. That could be relevant. Maybe. Man, who would have thought Tiger had legal troubles in the past? It is surprising. Wonder what that's about. Who knows? Crazy. Dragon rolled her neck. She took out a silver lighter with a red dragon emblem on it and began spinning it around in her fingers. God, if ever there was a time for a smoke, it'd be now. Wish I had some cigarettes on me. You know those are horrible for your health, right? Oh, really? I think you're the first person to tell me that. Sorry. There are already enough occupational hazards to my health. I don't think the risks of smoking really tip the scales too much. She lit the lighter and stared at the flame for a bit. That's a neat lighter. It was my boyfriend's. You have a boyfriend? I had one. Oh. Did you break up with him? Dragon unlit the lighter and put it in her pocket. He's not with us anymore. Oh. Damn. Sorry? Oh. Very tactful, Mouse. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's fine. I'm over it. But you know, I still get these thoughts. If I hadn't let those damn scorpions get so uppity. Scorpions? You know, Mouse, all life is a struggle over control. Who has what amount of it? If you're not controlling other people, you're being controlled. If you don't actively try and gain control, it's your fault when you're powerless later in life. Life's a fight that never stops. Let up in a fight for a second and your opponent can gain ground. In that spirit, the more time we stand here talking about Jack all, the more time the poisoner gets to make the next move. Come on, let's get back to investigating. Oh, sure thing. As for who to investigate next. Alright. I'm damn glad I made that poll. Ooh-wee. Okay. Dragon continues to be my favorite character so far. But, let's see. Snake and Bunny tied. So... we're gonna do Snake first. And if we get a third option, we'll do Bunny. If we don't, we're gonna reload and do Bunny. Let's go and try and find Snake. I mean, Ox was poisoned, right? Might have something to do with Snake. That makes sense. I always thought that dude was shady. When he woke up in the same room, he didn't panic. Like, at all. He could totally sentence another person to death without batting an eye. I don't know about that. Oh, if only you had memories from a past route. Regardless, we should go find him. And just like that, we had our interrogation target. Didn't take long to find Snake. He was in a classroom on the second floor. He was in the same room as Rooster. Snake, would you mind if we talk with you for a minute? Ah, Mouse. What a nice surprise for you to join me in Miss McNamara's classroom. You may absolutely talk with me, but whatever about? I'm looking for people who might know something. Ox has been poisoned. That is, not literally, but in the game. Someone has used some sort of trinket on him, and if he doesn't figure out who did it in time, he'll die. Do you know anything about this? Ah, yes, Ox's predicament. Funny, he has already actually approached me about this. Suppose, since it's a poison, I'm to be suspected. Ox truly has become a modern-day Damocles, hasn't he? Damocles? Who's that? Damocles was a man who wished to sit on Dionysus' throne. Dionysus granted that wish. However, due to a rather bizarre leap of logic, Dionysus had previously set up his throne that a giant sword hung directly above it, held up only by a single horsehair. It was to represent the weight and danger of being king, supposedly. After a short period, Damocles begged Dionysus to let him off the throne, having learned the burden of being a leader. However, the sword of Damocles more generally references to an inevitable seeming impending doom. Metaphorically, functions much in the way that the pendulum does impose the pit and the pendulum. Okay, I get it. That for an explanation, not a damn English lecture. I was simply providing you an appropriate amount of context. I feel knowing the full story may let you further appreciate just how apt my comparison was. I don't give a shit about how apt the comparison is, I care what you know about Ox being poisoned. Now start giving me useful info before I start breaking things. Ah, well then I'm afraid you'll have to start breaking things. Unfortunately, I know nothing about this poison ability you speak of. I don't know what I can do to help. I don't believe you. Well then I don't know what to tell you. Snake, are you sure? I think you know about it. You haven't heard of Kavka's toxin anywhere. Oh, Kavka's toxin, you say? Yeah. That's apparently what flows through Ox's veins, according to the announcement on his tablet. Why, do you recognize it? I recognize the phrase. It's a very interesting name for Brian to have given the ability. Why? Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna get the explanation. It references a very famous question proposed by philosopher Gregory S. Kavka in 1983. Oh great, this is another diatribe. He proposed the following puzzle. An eccentric billionaire places before you a vial of toxin that, if you drink it, will make you painfully ill for a day. It will not threaten your life or have any lasting effects. The billionaire will pay you $1 million tomorrow morning if, at midnight tonight, you intend to drink the toxin tomorrow afternoon. Be clear, you need not drink the toxin to receive the money. In fact, the money will already be in your bank account hours before the time for drinking it arrives if you succeed. All you have to do is intend at midnight tonight to drink the stuff tomorrow afternoon. Naturally, you would prefer not to drink the toxin. However, if it's for $1 million, you are willing to deal with the pain for a day. Quite the interesting puzzle, is it not? Puzzle? Where's the puzzle? So you know what to do in this situation. Ain't it obvious? Just convince the dude you're gonna drink the poison, and once you get the money, and don't. But this billionaire is incredibly perceptive, and will know whether or not you truly intend to drink the toxin. No one can say that with guaranteed certainty. This man can. As simple as it might seem, some people actually argue it is impossible to get the money, even if you would drink the toxin for it. What? Kavka claims that since drinking the poison is never to your advantage, regardless of whether you are paid, no rational person could truly intend to drink the toxin once the money was received. Thus, your only options are to drink the poison without payment, or refuse to drink the poison with payment. That's bullshit. Many would agree with you. In contrast, philosopher David Gauthier argues once a person intends on drinking the poison, one cannot entertain ideas of not drinking it. To him, there are three options: drink the poison with payment, drink the poison without payment, or refuse to drink the poison without payment. Still others have argued against this. Even if you fully intend to drink the poison, there's no way that resolve wouldn't collapse once the poison has been drunk. Wow. This is pretty interesting stuff. But, does this mean you don't actually have any useful information for us? Oh no, we've clearly got some useful information out of this. We now know that Snake's trying to waste as much of our time as possible by going off about random bullshit. It wounds me that you dismiss all I say as random bullshit. There's no way that the poison was called Kavka's toxin without reason. It is a phrase simply too charged with meaning. I'm confident that, in some way, understanding the name's origin should provide you with some sort of clue. Uh-huh. Whatever you say. Come on, Mouse, we're done here. This could be Ox's route. And this whole poison gambit is just some way to, Then again, we actually had Brian commenting for the first time in the game, so it's hard to say that this is being set up by Ox, but Dragon, just done with Snake in general, left the room without another word. Thanks for trying to help. Don't mention it. With that, I followed her back to the classroom we started in. That was a complete waste of time. I don't know, that information could be useful. You really think so? I slightly doubted it. Dragon sighed. She drummed her fingers on the nearby cabinet. What's our time looking like? Well, it's definitely the 5th round already. There's still a bit of time before this round ends. We have a bit more time to investigate. And after that, we're gonna have to come to a choice. You mean about killing someone? You know, if we're wrong, we're just gonna be committing murder for no reason. The person who poisoned Ox has to be one of the traitorous personalities, right? If we do nothing, we're just letting that person take one more step towards their objective. We aren't gonna be able to get through this without any violence. We just need to make sure that the violence is directed towards the right targets, so there can be as little of it as possible. Damn, that's cold-blooded. I didn't think you had it in you. How is wanting the fewest number of deaths to occur cold-blooded? Maybe cold-blooded ain't the right word for it. It's pragmatic. It's a very realist take on the situation. I'm just worried you were going to be one of those hippie, we need to get everybody out alive types. I mean, I would like it if everyone could get out alive. Yeah, well, that ain't happening. Not with things like this. I guess you're right. Said we had some more time to investigate. Yeah? Alright then, where should we go? Okay, hell yeah. Let's go see Bunny. Let's go try and talk to Bunny. Bunny, huh? Guess that wouldn't be so bad an idea. Are we sure he's actually going to give us any useful information? If he does know something, I bet he'll be evasive about it. Well, that's where you come in, right? If I think he's being shady, you just have to come in and apply some good old-fashioned pressure. Bet if you get up in his face, he'll fold in an instant. Not sure things will go that smoothly. What the hell? Not like you've got a better plan. That's the spirit. Yeah, I agree with Dragon. I don't know if it'll go that smoothly, trying to pressure a cop. Is it? So I began to look for where Bunny was searching. If anything, we might get another shot of the old Bunny. Of Policeman Bunny, and not Happy-Go-Lucky Bunny. Eventually we stumbled across him on the 3rd floor. He was investigating a student commons. He and Pig were looking around together while Dog searched the other side of the room. We approached Bunny and Pig. Hey Bunny, hey Pig. Mouse! Noticing us, Bunny walked over and stood right next to Pig. Oh, hi guys. What brings you around here? Yeah, why are you here? Can't we just be checking in to see how you're doing? Of course you can. We'd love that. But Ox isn't with you, and you're not looking for the trinkets. Isn't that, super weird? You've got us, Pig. We're actually here to talk to you about something pretty important. You see, someone used a really scary trinket on Ox. He's gonna die unless we can figure out who used it. You don't say. Really? Oh gosh, that just sounds horrible. Who wouldn't do something that evil? But is that a typo or is that intentional? Yeah, who? Whoever did something like that should be ashamed of themselves. How evil. How villainous. I just wanted to ask if you two knew anything about this. Know something? Us? Sorry to say, but we've just been focusing on finding minor trinkets. We don't know anything about what you're talking about. What Bunny said. We know nothing about any trinkets or poison or anything. So you don't really need to bother us about this. Oh well. We'll try this. Like, what rooms have you looked in? Spanish classroom on the 2nd floor. Bunny? Yes, well, we've looked through there, as well as the French and German classrooms. We've also looked in some of the offices here on the 3rd floor. We've been looking through the student commons as well. I'd say we've been making good progress. How about you, Pig? Yeah, we definitely have. And have you found anything yet? Unfortunately, we've yet to strike anything useful. You'd think we'd have at least found something by now. Weird, huh? Yes, weird indeed. Alright, well, thanks for talking with me, I guess. Let us know if you find anything important. Will do. Mouse, is that really it? Yeah, I want to check something. Oh? I walked down to the 2nd floor with Dragon. Then I went into the Spanish classroom. What are we doing here? Pig was acting super conspicuously through our conversation. Then she blurted out this room. I wonder, and Bunny reacted weird too. I began to search through the classroom for anything conspicuous. Before too long, I found it. Here it is. What? Safe. Poorly hidden behind some textbooks, I pulled out a small, cheap-looking safe. Obviously, it was locked with a passcode. That didn't matter to me. Merely finding this safe was enough. Come on, let's go. What? But we just found a safe! Probably won't be anything in there anyways. With Dragon back to the classroom we started at. When he got there, Dragon had questions. Ooh. I am quite curious about something. Let's ask about corruption just to be safe. Corruption in the Morris case? It didn't exist. Really? You're telling me everything was by the books? As far as I'm concerned, yeah. Look, I was the cop who arrested that killer, Morris. I made that accusation based off a solid trail of reliable evidence. After the arrest, other members of the force found more evidence and involved witnesses came forward. We ended up making a rock-solid case against him. For some reason, Morris wanted to take it to trial, and when he did, he lost. It was all incredibly standard. So you don't know anything funky about it. Well, it was a high-profile case. I don't think that really affected anything. And you, Pig? Corruption? What of it? I guess I did notice there was something of a media bias against Mr. Morris. Conversation on the internet almost seemed, I don't want to say forced, but forced, maybe? But of course I had nothing to do with that. All my pieces were written honestly and fairly, based off the information I had. Of course. Okay, well, if that's all you guys can think of, then I guess that's that. Good luck searching for trinkets. Good luck with this whole ox problem. Hope you guys are able to work it out. We'll just keep searching for trinkets for when this is over, right, Pig? Yeah, what Bunny said. Mouse, are we really leaving like this? Fast all that we can. Shouldn't waste any more time. That could have gone better. Knew we weren't getting anything useful. I'm gonna save this. We're gonna see how this route plays out. Those two know nothing about anything. What a waste of time. I still think that Pig was acting kind of weird. Maybe that's just how she acts sometimes. I think you're overthinking things. Best for us to just keep looking. Dragon sighed. Zoning out for a couple of seconds, she looked back at me. So, what now? Running out of time. Not sure we have much more time to investigate. That moment Ox entered the room. Ah, found you two. That's convenient. Ox! Hey, would you mind joining me in the cafeteria as soon as you can? Trying to gather the whole group. Sure thing. If you haven't, input your actions for this round. Not sure how long the meeting will last, but it might go through the end of the round. Cool, but how you doing with the whole poison front? I have made some progress on that front. There's a partial solution. What do you mean? We'll talk in the cafeteria. Without another word, he left. That was odd. Agreed. Let's input our actions for this round and go join up with the others. Got it. And so we did just that. As usual, I just pressed run. Then I went to the cafeteria with Dragon. Donnie, Dog, Bunny, Pig, Horse, Sheep, and Monkey were all there. Separate from the group, Ox stood. Mouse, Dragon, kind of you to join us here. Oh, don't mention it. Can't help but notice we were missing some people. I wasn't able to locate Snake's group in a quick fashion. However, I believe this should be enough. So, what are we doing here? Ask him. Horse gestured to Ox. He's clearly the one running the show. Right. Ox, I don't mean to be pushy, but could you tell us why you gathered us here? Well, first off, I thought we all already agreed to meet up in the cafeteria anyways. Oh, that's right, we did say that. Sorry, I kind of forgot. We did too. Just totally slipped our minds. Whoops, out clumsy. Whatever. As many of you know, a trinket has been used on me. At the end of this round, I will be executed. No! However, I can still survive if I find out who poisoned me. Really? How are you even possibly going to figure out who poisoned you? Do you know already? Are you psychic? Ox breathed a sigh with a heavy responsibility. I have spent much of my life acting as a leader. Yet, admittedly, you've been a pretty terrible and illogical leader in this situation, not organizing the search better. I think that's been the most prevailing thread of comments through this series so far, is that Ox has been pretty piss poor at organizing or coordinating a search of the building. So they aren't just so they aren't in a situation where they're vulnerable, and they aren't in a situation where they're retracing their steps and searching rooms other people have searched. And again, he is a lawyer and not a cop, not a rescue expert. Like, for example, I feel like Bunny might know more about coordinating a proper search and rescue operation. I.e. splitting up into groups, cordoning the area off into sections for people to comb through, so they aren't treading over each other's steps and whatnot. But A reformer. Even back in middle school, I turned my class of delinquents into model students. I grew up in the rough part of Hightower. I saw how out of control it was. And that's why I became a prosecutor. By helping to shape the judicial system, I could help control society. It's admittedly a hard and uneven job. Control is a difficult thing to maintain. It has to be maintained, or else people will fall to their vices. That's the natural progression of things. With that in mind, I will now be taking control of this group. Oh shit! He said this, Ox pulled out a pistol with a silencer. Holy fuck. Whoa! What the hell? Where'd you get that? On the second floor, it was hidden particularly well in one of the classrooms. It is disturbing to me that I was able to find it. It makes me worry what else may be stored in this building. Oh, you know, just everything. However, none of that particularly matters at this point. After all, a mere pistol elevates me to being the biggest threat in the room. What are you going to do with that? Perhaps this is selfish of me. However, I do not wish to die yet. If I can live by killing my poisoner, then that's what I shall do. So then, let's begin. Ox, hold on a minute. Do you know who poisoned you? Admittedly, I am not yet clear on the culprit's identity. However, that won't stop me from trying to save myself. What does that mean? It means I will have to take some guesses. Hold on, is he just going to start killing people willy-nilly? You maniac. Ox, hey buddy, you can't just do something like that. Ox, you're not seriously going to just start killing people at random, are you? Mouse, surely you'd understand. I'm not going to simply guess at random. There are many basic deductive practices I can use to narrow suspects down. For instance, Horse, being as strong as he is, has no need to resort to such technical tricks. Sheep has been scared and consequently has spent most of her time in the presence of someone else, limiting the time she could have found the trinket. Dog lacks strong conviction, so he wouldn't grip to life so desperately. Combining all the factors, the most likely candidate for the poisoner, and the first I will kill. Ox aimed the gun towards Bunny. Oh, is you, Bunny. I was suspecting you too after that. Ox, you can't be serious about this, can you? Logically speaking, you're the most likely suspect. You can't just say that. I apologize for this, Bunny. In an instant, Bunny's face hardened. I'm not gonna let you kill me. Just kill me like this. He pulled a knife out of his back pocket and dodged to the left. Ox fired, but Bunny had already gotten out of the way. I turned around and realized Bunny had moved behind me, using me as something of a shield. And he rushed at me. No, not me. The person behind me. Which would be... Oh shit! The thing about being shot in the head is that the moment you start to wonder where a sound came from, you stop wondering about it. It's almost peaceful. We have clubs. Bullshit. Holy shit. Finding the poisoner will be a difficult task. Correctly interpreting the Jade Emperor's hints even harder. Completely devoid of hints, Ox will try to take his best guess. Problem with that is I think Ox is guessing right. This will not be a particularly effective tactic. Interrogating the right people may lead to a more fruitful outcome. Oh shit. Arguably that was the worst... That's the, worst outcome of this route. Interesting. Let's progress where we got the safe. Where we found the safe. When he got there, Dragon had questions. What was that about? Bunny and Pig lied. They said they hadn't found anything, and yet there was a locked safe poorly hidden in a room they claimed they searched. There's no way a group of 3 misses that. Those bastards. Why would they lie to us like that? I can think of one reason. Then you think? In all likelihood, that's what happened. Shit. Still, I think there's more to this story that we need to find out. Brian's words in particular still strike me as odd. Let's not give up the search. Yeah, I guess you're right. Dragon sighed. Zoning out for a couple of seconds, she looked back at me. So, what now? Running out of time. Not sure we have much more time to investigate. When Ox entered the room, hello. We'll skip ahead a little bit. Admittedly, I'm not yet clear on the culprit's identity. And there's no need for you to worry. I've already solved who poisoned you. Uh-oh. Really? Go on then, please, tell me. Bunny, Pig, you two told me where your group had searched. Would you agree that those searches were fairly comprehensive? Mostly, yeah. I'd like to say we did a fair job at that. And I assume that you stumbled across the locked safe in the Spanish classroom then. Locked safe? Oh, that locked safe. Yeah, well, we tried to crack it, we just had no clues on how to open it. Ultimately, we just dismissed it as a red herring. No, you didn't. There's no way you thought a locked safe was a red herring. You know what I think? What? I think that you already opened that safe. I think that you found Snake's major trinket, and it let you poison other participants. Then I think you relocked that safe and you poisoned Ox. What? That's ridiculous, Mouse. We searched that room as a group. If I did something like that, surely Pig and Dog would have seen it. Oh, but they did. That's why you're keeping Pig at arm's length at all times, right? Because you're threatening her to keep quiet or else you'll stab her with a knife. Ridiculous! The knife thing's a bit of a stretch. Like, how do we know that he's got a knife? Outside of the ending we just witnessed where he pulled a knife out of his bag. You're the victorious personality, right? That type can win with two other people. That's what you promised Pig and Dog if they cooperated, right? Such wild theories. Pig, Ox has a gun right now. When he tries anything, he'll be shot. Tell us, is he threatening you? He is, he totally is! Bunny has a traitorous personality and he poisoned Ox and he told me that if I said a word about it, he'd stab me with his knife and I was so scared when he Okay, we get the gist. Well, what do you have to say to that, Bunny? So you did it, Bunny. I knew it. Ox angrily stormed closer to him. As soon as I heard corrupt tool, I knew it had to be you. What are you talking about? Brian said I'd be undone by a tool of corruption, someone who participated in a malicious cover-up. Should have known you were just as dirty a cop as the whole damn precinct. What did you do? This is ridiculous. I don't know anything about a cover-up. No, you definitely do. Just come clean now before I beat it out of you. I'd love to see you try. I just made the arrest based on the evidence I found. Brian should be blaming anyone for his dad's death. It should be you. After all, didn't you push for the death penalty? That's... In the instant, Ox's gaze wavered. Bunny rushed in. No! He moved towards Bunny to try and stop him. Before I could do anything, he plunged a knife he had been hiding in his back pocket into Ox's chest. Ox's eyes widened in surprise, and he dropped the gun. With his non-stabbing hand, Bunny caught the gun midair. He turned towards me, the person moving to stop him. Held the gun up to my eyes. Oh no. This can't be right. I'm not dying here. You sure they wasn't going to... Well. Mel should be able to find the poisoner's identity if she tries. For correctly interpreting the Jade Emperor's hints is even a harder task. Done wrong, this could lead to confusion, which would aggravate Ox. Aggravated people are sloppy. Bunny preys on sloppiness. Only a perfect investigation will prevent a tragedy. So we need to start from scratch. Start from scratch. Let's grab trinkets. I feel like Tiger had some good hints for us. Like, it also might be worth going to see what Dog and Sheep had to say. So, like, maybe our plan of action is to go see Dog and Sheep, see if that changes the ending, and then doesn't, then we try and piece together the perfect investigation. I feel like Tiger gave us an interesting tidbit with the chief of police and the chief prosecutor. Snake told us about Kafka's toxin, which we can't hard to interpret, but has to be relevant somewhat. This is interesting because it's a case of we know who did it. We just have to figure out the truth in a way that we can get the better of the who done it. Interesting. Okay, let's go Sheep first. But we tried talking with Sheep. Sheep? What on earth is the use of talking to someone like her? Sheep seems very honest, so I don't think she'll try and hide anything. And she was almost Amadeus Bowen's secretary. She's also Amadeus Bowen's secretary, right? If there was shady business going on with him, she'd probably be the first one to know. I think it's a decent place to try and poke around. Well, you're the one apparently calling the shots. Fine. We'll talk with Sheep. Great, thanks. That decided the two of us began our search for Sheep. Didn't take long. We quickly found her searching a classroom on the first floor with Horse and Monkey. Mouse! Dragon! What are you two doing here? Hi, Sheep. Horse? Monkey? Hello there. I echo Sheep's question. What are you two doing here? Watch it with the attitude, would ya? You're lecturing me about attitude. The two of you knocked off. Dragon and I are just here to ask some questions. Ask whatever you would like. First of all, do any of you know anything about Kafka's toxin? The three blank looks immediately told me that I was barking up the wrong tree. You know what? Forget it. Wait, I want to know what you're talking about. Trust me, you don't. How about this? Do any of you know anything about any corruption involving Amadeus Bowen or the trial of Mr. Morris? This question actually provoked some interesting reactions. Corruption. Must apologize, I do not personally know anything regarding that matter. However, speaking as Brian's therapist, I can say he certainly believed things were not right regarding the trial of his father. I suppose this is breaking patient-client confidentiality. But these circumstances warrant that, I would imagine. Okay, that is the right phrase. For some reason, that way she said that didn't sound right in my head, but indeed they do. Brian would often go on about how things weren't right with his father's arrest and execution. I was convinced there was something more to it. I will admit, things seemingly happened more speedily than they would normally. However, there's no evidence to suggest this was the result of any malice. The evidence of his father's guilt was plain as day. Brian was just never able to accept this. I feel his pain. Many boys idolize their father. A father's words can be deeply ingrained into young boys' psyche, permeating their conscience. Brian's father earnestly told Brian that he was innocent. It's likely Brian would believe it, no matter what. What an irresponsible father, leaving his son in that state. It must have been rough for Brian to go through it so much at a young age. When a family member dies when you're young, it can certainly affect how you live your life. Alright, what about you, Sheep? Me? I don't. What do you know about corruption? Corruption? Oh, right, yes, corruption. I know I shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but, Mr. Bowen wasn't exactly, there was a lot of bad rumors about him, some of which may have been true. He was a very powerful man, many famous connections. But some say that he got those connections through, a creative use of leverage. Ah, blackmail. So blackmail. I can't say anything to that nature, but, nothing I learned from my position would exactly refute those allegations. Definitely had a lot of enemies. Oh, but that's not to say that Mr. Morris isn't the killer. Morris said that he had a deep amount of resentment for Bowen and the way he ran things. Two would often get in arguments. It's clear from this case that Morris had to be the killer. I mean, I was there the whole time, and Morris was the only one who met with Bowen during his death. I don't think the trial was in any way corrupt, if that's what you're asking. I can't speak much to any of this. I was only a minor witness in all of this. I have very little involvement with either man. Okay, then. This was all very useful to hear. Thanks for sharing. And no problem. You still haven't told us why you came to ask these questions. And why are you not with Ox? Okay, see you guys later. Like that, I grabbed Dragon's wrist and walked away. Despite Dragon's protests, I didn't stop walking until we got back to the classroom we came from. Did you let go of me? Christ, you got a grip. Who do you think you are to grab onto me like that? Oh, relax. Anyway, I would say that it was a very fruitful interrogation. We got plenty of information on Amadeus Bowen. Really? Personally, I didn't hear anything I didn't already pretty much know. Definitely wasn't anything I'd call particularly game-changing and all that. We'll have to agree to disagree then. I guess. Dragon leaned against the wall. She drummed her fingers on the nearby chair. What's our timing look like? Alright, where to go next? Dog. Let's go try and talk to Dog. That dude? Are you sure that's a good idea? Don't know if that guy's even paying attention half the time. His life's on the line, just like ours. Do you think he'd be a good resource for info? I think a big clue is going to come from the Jade Emperor's seemingly mocking speech. To investigate who this tool of corruption is. Dog's an ex-cop and he's friends with the chief of police. Makes him a good lead. Really? I knew there was a reason I didn't like him. Look, let's just find him. We began to look for where Dog was searching. Eventually we stumbled across him on the 3rd floor. He was investigating a student commons. Bunny and Pig were searching together on the other side of the rather large area. Oh, interesting. We approached Dog. Hey, Dog. Mouse? Dragon? I guess you're here now. That we are. Neat. Not, at all curious as to why. Figure if you wanted me to know, you want me to know, you'd tell me, and if you didn't, you wouldn't, even if I asked. Fair. Well, we're trying to figure something out. Do you know anything about Ox being poisoned? Oh, that whole thing? Ox was already here. Made a big fuss about it. And what did you tell him? Tell him the truth. I got no idea what that's about. Anything else? Nope, that's the gist of it. Hope that sorts out well, though. I like Ox. Seem pretty unbothered by a thing that's gonna end in death, one way or the other. Oh, I am bothered. I don't see what crying's gonna do for us for now. Figured I'd be more useful continuing my job. How about you told us about the chief of police? Close with him, right? Bowen? Yeah, I know a thing or two about him. Why should I tell you, though? Because it could be really useful? I suppose. You know what? I'm bored. It's been too long since I gambled. Oh. Dog took out a pair of dice from his pocket and put them on the nearby table. Alright. Whoa, where'd you get that? There was a whole bin of them in one of the mathematics classrooms. Let's play a little game. A game? The hell are you talking about? It's real simple. First, I'll roll one die, covered with my hand. Next, I'll roll another one. Take a look at the other die, and you guess if it's a higher or lower number than the one you can see. Guess right, you win. Guess wrong, you lose. The numbers in both die are the same, I win by default. But hey, that's only a 1 in 6 chance, you know? Understand? Yeah, I guess. Great, and let's play. What? You can't be serious! Why can't I be? I'm bored. If Mouse wins the gamble, I'll say whatever you want to know about Bowen. Why can't you just help us normally? I'm a very private person, Mouse. You can't just ask me to spill private details for nothing. Besides, the rules of this game will definitely favor you. So, you know, you'll probably win. I guess I don't have a choice. Alright then, bring it. Hey, that's what we love to see. Love the spirit on this one. Can't believe you're wasting our time with this shit. Kick his ass, Mouse. And like that, Dog began his waste of time. First, he rolled one of the die. Seemed like a fair roll. Was coming to a stop, he slammed his left hand on top of it. Alright, my die is set. Now let's see what your die is. Alright. His right hand, he rolled the second die. My attention was completely pulled in as it bounced up to the end of the table. It was a 5. Ah, damn. Not great for me. Well, for formality's sake, I guess I'll ask higher or lower. You're trying to pull a fast one on me, aren't you? Higher. Mouse, what are you doing? Trust me. Dog looked stone-faced as he lifted his left hand. His die was a 6. Well, how about that? Seriously? What are the odds? It's not a matter of odds. It's a matter of Dog being a shady bastard. What are you possibly talking about, Mouse? Oh, don't play coy. This game was too simple, too dumb for it to be pure luck. You were definitely cheating somehow, even if I didn't know the specifics. Well, you know, maybe when people's attentions are distracted by one dice roll, turning over a dice under your hand and undetected isn't the hardest feat. You fucking serious? You know, if you tried to pull that shit in some places, you'd get shot. Just why I didn't pull that shit in those places. Just with drunkards. Anyway, you won the bet. Hit me with what you want to know. Okay, so... what can you tell us about Brian's case? Is there anything, well, off about it? There's plenty off about it, I'll tell you what. Rare we get such a clear-cut answer as to who the killer is. Morris guy really could have used a bit more time to plan his scheme. Are you certain he did it? Most everyone's certain. It was painfully obvious. Still didn't stop the chief of police from going in on the suspect. Heard plenty from him about the late nights he spent interrogating the suspect. Morris didn't crack, though. Never got a confession out of him. Did Chief Bowen act strange at all regarding this case? Of course he did. It was his brother that was murdered. Although I suppose his attitude did start to shift at one point. Oh? Yeah, now that I remember it. It was rather strange. Time went on, Bowen got less angry and more... what's the word? Antsy? Interesting. He just seemed antsy about it. As in he wants this to go away ASAP? Remember I heard him talking to himself one night at the bar. He said something strange. By the way, I just need to put that brat in jail and publicly end this case. Yeah, that's not something a fair defender of justice is probably supposed to say, yeah? I'd say. Thank you, dog. That's exactly what I was looking for. Well, glad to be of service. You know, you're a surprisingly good gambler. Need to play you again sometime. If we both get out alive, I promise I'll take you up on that offer. What do you know? A reason to try. Just like that, dog went back to his search. Hey! We also get a motivated dog out of this encounter. So nice. Big time plus. Dragon and I reconvened in the classroom we started at. Alright. Certainly was insightful. Maybe. Still, even if he had good info, pisses me off that he toyed with us by making us play that stupid-ass game. Dragon stretched out her arms and cracked her knuckles. After zoning out for a couple of seconds, she looked back at me. So what now? Okay. Oh, we might be getting ending 2. Yep. So, imperfect investigation. It feels like the ideal here is to talk to Tiger, talk to Dog, talk to Bunny, and get the safe as evidence. Feels like that's our next course of action. And since we're probably going to finish... Can't imagine this route going on another full video after this, but so... We'll see how long it goes, and then... we will, decide what to do next. I'm still not sure if I'm going to go back to the original poll I made about that, and just take the second place option, or put up a new poll. We'll see. Until next time, until then.